we work. Let's see what we work. Let's go. All day. Keep going. Keep going.
As much as I could say that the sport could be unhealthy physically, I could point to probably a lot of things I've seen and heard that indicate mental sickness. I think it's very, very easy for people to become overly obsessed, overly enamored with the thought of winning, or of being number one, or of getting that pro card, or of, I don't know, just being big, or have people develop something in their mind of, okay, I have this goal, and when I get to this goal, this is going to happen. My life is going to change. Right? Once I have this amount of money, everything's going to be different. Once I have a 22-inch arm, everything is going to be different. I remember being 16 and saying, wow, when I could bench 400 pounds, it's going to be just so awesome. And then you get there and you realize it's not. Nothing's really any different. I think probably, there's all sorts of stories where people win the lotto or they make millions of dollars, and at the end of the day, they still are who they are. You're just that guy with a 22-inch arm. You're that guy with more money, but you're still you. Simply having a bigger biceps or more money or a first place trophy isn't going to miraculously change you or improve your life. You realize that you have to be happy with yourself along the way. You have to do it for personal reasons. You can't adopt the attitude of my life is going to change when. No, your life changes now, and then other things happen as a side effect. Here we are at Doherty's gym, Brunswick, Tony Doherty's original location. I think he's been here every bit probably of 30 years or so. I guess, judging by the photos on the walls, the gym kind of dates itself, which is totally awesome. There's definitely a lot of history in the place. For anybody who doesn't know, Tony goes way back. He was great friends with Sonny Schmidt, who was a IFBB pro from New Zealand. And over the years, Tony became friends with many of the pros and brought a lot of them out. A lot of the greats from the 90s and stuff. Person who first brought me to Australia back in 2012. So really, it's an awesome gym. It's filled with a lot of history, and I'm lucky to be here today. So I'm excited. I'm gonna go in and wait for everybody to show up.
I was really like overweight and fat. And then I remember watching a YouTube video with Evan in it, and there was, and I saw some pictures of him when he was younger. And then I just started going to the gym, following him, and then it's just progressed ever since then. Just kept going, really. Really early on, probably 2010, 2011, I started like looking through like all the pictures on the internet. Saw a lot of like ads for Animal Pack in the stores because they used to sell it a lot here. And then started following Evan, Frank, the house, and then yeah, just ever since then I've just followed Animal the whole way. Yeah, so it's been a while, 4 or 5 years.
It's really nice to share a little bit of experience with somebody that's sort of keen on the brand as much as I am. And Evan himself, you know, it's really nice to have a little bit of a chat with him, you know, share a bit of advice, share a bit of knowledge. I really think a big factor is, what's nice is in this sort of setting is when you can start understanding what these guys are all about. I think a big factor comes in that they're just human like we are, just here to share some advice and just to train with him. It's really good because I can see he's struggling a little bit today. I mean, post-show and that sort of thing. So he still needs to stay in razor sharp condition. And yeah, me being a very big fan of bodybuilding, I understand what it's about. So just purely being in the presence of these athletes just makes my day. I really was impressed with his condition, and what's nice to see is he really brought a nice package in terms of thickness and symmetry to the stage. A big factor for me is the journey that he's been on in terms of food, nutrition and cleanliness. It's really made a big difference, and he's just a straight up honest guy. He says less is more, quality of life, go forward and enjoy what you're doing. It's really good advice coming from one of the pros.
The sport can, I think, very easily become consuming and lead to people being very self-centered because it's why I have this goal. I have to eat now. I have to do this. I, me. And to some degree, I guess that maybe is the nature of it, but I think if you're someone who's conscious of that, and I think we all should be conscious of that and not allow ourselves to play into that too much or to buy into that, you have to try to maintain balance. Guys who become so, ultimately they become self-obsessed and they do begin to feel that the world revolves around them. I don't think it helps them. Guys might think, well man, if I could just quit my job and I had someone just giving me money and all I had to do all day was sit around and blah, 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 then I could be a pro tomorrow. But it's not really like that. For someone who is on their way and has the physical and mental tools to becoming a champion athlete, would something like that help them? Yes. Is that gonna make, would giving someone that financial support and that extra time and whatnot, would it all of a sudden turn them into a champion? No, it's not like that. That's like me saying, you know, me playing basketball and saying, well, man, if I just had better sneakers, I could be like Michael Jordan. You know, if I just had those, you know, if I just had that better bicycle, I could be Lance Armstrong. And you realize how stupid that sounds, but that's how a lot of people think, and it's not like that. I mean, Lance Armstrong's a champion athlete regardless of his bicycle. Michael Jordan would be Michael Jordan in a pair of Chuck Taylors. So again, I think you are who you are. And that's just something that it can be built upon, It can be fostered, but it can't just be created or destroyed. I mean, nobody can take it away from you, but nobody can give it to you either.